Rejection is never easy, but sometimes it's the universe's way of reminding us to focus on the most important relationship we'll ever have, the one with ourselves. So today, we're talking about how to turn romantic rejection into self-discovery and growth with psychiatrist Dr. Davina Knowles-Robinson. Welcome back again to What's Trending.
Thank you for having me.
It's definitely always a pleasure to have you in the building with us. So why does rejection, even when we know it's a reflection of our worth, why does it seem to sting so much?
I think we have been taught, and I mean emotionally, we are socially connected to other persons. So we always want to have that longing for being wanted. So rejection then reminds us that this person didn't want me, so we start to feel inadequate. What was wrong with me? Why does this person feel as though I'm not good enough? And so then we start to doubt ourselves, and then we have that self-doubt and worthless feeling, but it really doesn't have anything to do with us.
So then how can someone reframe rejection as an opportunity to learn more about themselves?
So it is, again, like you said, being cognizant of who you are, having that mindfulness. So there are mindfulness activities that we do in therapy that they can be taught to do, like, for example, journaling and mindfulness activities. Learning that self-worth and self-love, they go in tandem. So your worth should not be determined by somebody else's thought of you. Who you are is who you are, and identifying that within yourself is very important. And then doing things for self-love, self-care, reminding yourself that I am better than whatever this negative perception of me is. So reframing your thoughts, I think, is very important too.
And that's going to lead us into our next question in terms of what does the role self-love play in healing in those romantic relationships? You mentioned journaling, but how important is that element in the process or journey towards healing after a broken heart?
So reminding yourself that you are important. You're the prize. I am the person that needs the love. So I am the person that has to love me. So doing things that remind you of your identity, who you were prior to this relationship, who I was, what were your core values, what made me me, building resilience, realizing that in every challenge and every downfall, there's a learning curve, and then changing that perspective, reframing your thoughts, being able to identify that, yeah, something bad happened to me, but I'm not a bad person. So loving yourself internally and reframing those thoughts.
And that makes a lot of sense. So then what are some of the practical ways after rejection, not turning to unhealthy habits that we can move forward? Because, you know, some people tend to take the opposite end of the spectrum, and that's not so healthy in terms of their healing.
I think culturally we have adapted the thought that the best way to get over something bad is to then drown it out. So a lot of people go to the bottle or go to negative spaces, go to negative friends that may be a little bit resentful and not healed, but realizing that those feelings are, in fact, feelings are temporary. So dealing with them in a healthy way then shifts the narrative. So going to the gym, getting that glow up as opposed to binging on the bottle and making yourself, in the end, feel worse. Not looking for a temporary gratification, but long-term benefit.
That makes a lot of sense. So what then how do we know when to step back or to distance ourselves from someone who has rejected us, but also not feel guilty about it as well?
Boundaries are very important, and I think culturally, again, we have not learned to say no in a healthy space. So learning that it's okay to say no because you're not able to show up. How are you able to pour into something if you are now empty? The first thing that the stewardess would tell you on the plane is put your oxygen mask on first. If you're not able to help and aid yourself, learning that it's okay to step away because now I need to regroup, I need to reframe, I need to maybe list my goals out because I had different goals in this relationship and now I need to shift my perspective into what I now need to see in the future for myself.
That's important. So what would you say then is one key mindset shift for our viewers that they can embrace today to move forward towards being stronger and more self-aware?
I am enough. And like I would say punto final, because at the end of the day, it is all about you. What are you bringing to the table? How do I need to now grow? So maybe I need to do more self-help work. Maybe I need to see a psychiatrist. Come and see me. So at the end of the day, figuring out what I need to do for myself, learning empathy, learning kindness, maybe reflecting on the relationship and realizing that maybe I was the problem. So identifying what it is that you need to work on, and I think that will help with your regrowth.